Hello YouTube viewers and random Back to the Future fans. Today I'm very excited to review this, which is the Hot Toys DeLorean. And here it is in its massive box. You can see a great image of the DeLorean on a street, leaving fire trails behind as it travels into the future, with DeLorean Time Machine 1/6 scale collectible vehicle in this orange arrow, and the Back to the Future logo in the corner. On the back we also get a list of the very awesome and very creative people who created this stunning scale replica. But enough about the box, let's move on to the DeLorean itself. Alrighty, so here we have the DeLorean, and at 1/6 scale, this thing is huge. Moving straight to detail, this looks excellent. At the front we get those square headlights with the design moulded into them, the grille with the accurate DMC logo, and even that vent underneath. The front bumper is so accurate and even features this great metallic mesh. Looking at the hood, the bodywork of this car really does look like stainless steel, but the entire car is actually made from plastic, so it just goes to show how brilliant the paint application is to give that metallic effect. The hood can be opened, revealing a spare tyre, which disguises the battery compartment. The hood features some very strong magnets, so it will snap down securely into place when closed. On the sides you can spot the wires which connect to the front bumper, and the hooks which hold them in place. All four wheels look gorgeous, with thick rubber tyres, which feature tread, and the perfectly sculpted DeLorean hubcaps with the DMC logo in the middle. These can also spin freely, allowing the car to be rolled back and forth. The windscreen is flawlessly clear, allowing you to get a good look at the various gadgets and wires on the dashboard. The windscreen wipers have been moulded onto here too, but they don't actually move, while you can see the black grille in front of them. As for the gull-wing doors, these are a masterpiece alone, with the superb sculpting of the door handles, the keyhole, and the wing mirrors, which actually have reflective plastic on the inside, adding to the realism. The windows are just as transparent as the windscreen and contain the detail of that smaller section which can wind down on the real car, but here it's just moulded as one big piece. And now for the big moment, opening the iconic doors of the DeLorean. They make this very satisfying click as they are on a ratchet joint, so this means they will stay locked in place whenever they are opened. You can see the red warning lights on the inside frame of the door, but these don't light up or anything. The inner padding and armrest window controls are present and look immaculate, as well as the handle for closing the door. Material straps also hang from the door just like the real car, which can be used to close them down. Switching to the actual interior, the seats look like they're made from that light grey leather material with some awesome creased and wrinkled sculpting, but they are indeed solid plastic. A buckle for the seatbelt can be seen resting beside each seat as well. As for the dashboard, where do I start? We have the plutonium chamber indicators on the passenger side, the wiring which runs throughout it, the time circuit readout display with where you're going, where you are and where you were, and I love that it actually has the dates on it from the scene at Twin Pines Mall just before Marty goes back to November 5th, 1955. The white keypad is also present underneath this. Even though it's kind of inaccurate judging by the readout display, I do like the inclusion of Doc's alarm clock from 1955 on the dashboard as well. But if this annoys you, it can be removed. The digital mileometer rests on top of the dashboard and reads 85 miles per hour, so it's just before Marty travels back in time. The steering wheel and readout displays have been recreated perfectly too. The wheel can be turned, but this does not affect the exterior front wheels. These, however, can be turned manually. As for the central column, the gear stick is on here and can actually be moved around, which is a brilliant little detail, while the time circuits can also be turned on or off, and you can see them rotate as the handle is turned. A few more bits and pieces of hardware can be seen at the back, but the main feature is of course the flux capacitor, which has been rendered beautifully, and even includes the various warning stickers on there too. Incredible. Just like the hood, the gull-wing doors feature a magnet, so when closed, they are held firmly in position. On the top of the DeLorean, we have the hardware and brace, which lights up blue in the movie when travelling through time. This extends from the top, down the sides and around the rear wheels, and is made from the same metallic mesh used on the front bumper. As for the machinery on the rear, I don't think a word's been invented to describe how awesome it looks. The piping, wires and tubing are all present and all three-dimensional. It genuinely looks like the real car. 3 large red cylinders are present on one side with small wires extending from them. On the other side we have these blue cylinders with more copper wire attached and some silver canisters next to them, and 3 green elongated bits on there too. In the middle is this kind of vented section which has a small hinged cylinder attached which can be raised up to hold the lightning rod, which unfortunately isn't included with the car, and I really wish it had been. The plutonium chamber is remarkable with all of the various struts and details present and correct, and you can see the yellow through those struts as well. The yellow lid can be removed, and I really wish an isotope had been included to pop inside it. The twin vents on the back are fantastic, while the paint apps on there really make them shine. They look old and worn, which just adds to the realism, and also feature welding patterns on the edges so they look custom made. Rounding off this momentous amount of detail is the rear lights, which are made from a deep red and white plastic. We get the out of time license plate sticker in the middle, which is perfectly movie accurate, and the DeLorean logo can be seen on the rear bumper, with some wires beneath this, connecting those metallic mesh sections together. Taking a quick look underneath, the underside of the car has been recreated too, with some chrome silver and red paint apps, and even some bolts on there too. We also get a socket for an AC adapter, as well as a tiny amount of legal Scrat von Flunbar. So overall, when it comes to detail, need I say anything? It's perfect! Turning to features, the DeLorean offers some light effects. These are activated via a hidden button under the hood. When pressed, the lights just set off the time machine perfectly. The front headlights look like the real headlights of the car, despite just being simple LEDs, while the smaller orange indicators can be seen through the wire mesh on the bumper. Orange and red lights on the sides of the car are also present, but obstructed by the various gadgetry bolted onto it, while the rear taillights illuminate orange, red and white. But the light effects really shine in the interior. Instantaneously, you can see the flux capacitor doesn't remain steadily lit, and instead features a light sequence to reflect that seen in the movie. This was a great choice, which brings so much life to the car. More lights can be seen behind the passenger seat, while the green grid remains steadily illuminated behind the driver's seat. The various control buttons in the roof are also lit up on the driver's side. Despite these awesome lights, I can't help but feel a little disappointed that the readout displays do not light up. I would have been happy with one LED lighting up all 3 displays, and maybe the lights on the control pad, but it's a small irritant that Hot Toys came so far with the lights, yet decided to stop here. Don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful that it does indeed light up, and it looks beautiful on display with this feature activated. The AC adapter port makes it easier to have it on display while lit up, so I'm glad this option was included, but 3 AA batteries can be installed as well, but these tend to drain pretty quickly. Another great bonus is that the Hot Toys Marty McFly figure can fit inside the DeLorean by simply bending his legs and sliding him into the driver's seat. Thanks to the great articulation of the figure, he can be placed into a realistic driving position, and the door can be closed with the greatest of ease. But of course, like many collectors, I think the ideal way to display this figure with the car is to recreate that iconic poster pose, which can be easily accomplished. Doing a size comparison, I did say this thing was gigantic. At 1/6 scale, it easily overshadows the 1/18 scale Hot Wheels and Sunstar models, and absolutely annihilates the smaller Welly vehicles. Thanks to its size and detail, when placed outside and viewed from the right angle, you could swear that this is the real thing. So overall, what do I think of this replica? Well, I'm stunned. Genuinely stunned. The detail is unbelievable. You've seen this video, you know. There's just too much to talk about. But every wire, every piece of electronic equipment, every readout and rivet has been recreated to a T. The movable steering wheel, time circuit controls and gear stick is an inspired idea, while the doors being on a ratchet joint is ingenious, allowing them to stay completely still when raised. The light effects, for the most part, are beautiful, but I can't help but feel a little annoyed that the readouts don't light up, and the lightning rod should have been a standard inclusion too, as the retractable cylinder for it to fit into kind of bothers me with nothing there. Also, some sound effects would have really set this off, like the noise of the door opening or even the time circuits being switched on. There are no blue LEDs under the wire mesh sections of the car, which is also a bit disappointing, as to see it on display with these pieces glowing bright blue would have made this such an eye-catching piece. But those few nitpicks aside, I simply adore this item. Back to the Future is without a doubt one of my all-time favourite film trilogies ever made, and since I was a little boy, I always wanted a DeLorean. Now, as an adult, I don't really want one, as it's a bit of a crap car to drive and maintain, so this is the next best thing. And honestly, I can't think of anything better. It's the closest thing that I, and most fans, will get to owning their very own time-travelling DeLorean. And so that brings us to the end of this review. I really hope you liked it. If you did and you're new to my channel, please hit subscribe for more videos and keep up to date with all my latest news and reviews by liking my Facebook page and following me on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.